Thank you, Rudy. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. As our friend Valdo said, it's a very hairy subject, right? Because acceptance and self-acceptance is kind of the key of enlightenment, the key of living a purpose life and to keep on going. But before I start, I'm going to ask you guys to turn off this guy. We don't need him, okay? We really don't need this guy at this point. We need ourselves. We need this guy inside of you. Look inside of you. That's the one that you need for the next hour or so. So, the lecture was pretty good. It was just talking about, look at yourself. Believe in yourself. It doesn't matter if there is a major crisis outside, or a major hunger outside, or a major need for doctors and people to help somebody else. You can do your part. You can do something, but you need to believe in yourself. In order to believe in yourself, in order to know that you can do something, you need to accept who you are. And you need to accept the others. So, once you accept the way people are, and the way you are as well, makes it a lot easier to keep on going in life. Makes it a lot easier to navigate through everything that life throws on us. And we say life throws on us, but we throw on us. It's not life, because life is what we made out of it. So we are mostly the responsibles on throwing good or bad things on ourselves. And we need to accept that. We need to make peace of that. Have you ever heard, this is a politician saying, a lie told 1,000 times become a truth? And that's truth, because your brain doesn't know what is right and what is wrong. And if you say over and over and over, you will start believing it. And that's where our troubles start. When we believe that we're not enough, that we're not loved, that we don't belong, that we don't have the power to do things, we are just sabotaging ourselves. And our brain, because we repeat it over and over and over, start accepting this as a truth. And then we have to live with that. Or nowadays, we just hire a coach, and he will try to scratch that kind of behavior that is not good. But do we really need a coach? We can coach ourselves. We can put some red flags. We can listen to our inner voice and say, yeah, this is what it is. We have to have spiritual intelligence. We talk so much about this. But what is spiritual intelligence? I explain to you sometimes or many times through science lenses. But look at what the Gospel according to Spiritism say. Man can soften or increase the bitterness of his trials according to the manner in which he regards earthly life. What is that? We can have a happy life, or a not so happy life, by the way we understand life, by the way we understand all the information that comes to us and we process that. To content himself with his position without envying others. This in turn enables him to receive weakened impressions of reverse and deceptions that may be experienced. From these attitudes come calmness and resignation. Again, raise your hand if you like to suffer. Raise your hand if you like pain. And the second one is a tricky question. We don't like pain, but we all need pain. Because it's the only way that moves us forward. Without pain, we're going to sit where we are and stay there forever. And thank God, forever in this brief time of life can last 100 years, 110, 120 max. So it's a glimpse, it's a blink of an eye. If you compare to the infinity, if you compare to your eternal soul, but still, it lasts a lot. So we need pain. And this is a different way of seeing pain. Because we all here try to deal with our pain. When you go to, I'm a consultant, so when I go to companies, my first question for them is, what is your pain? Of course, if they hire me to fix something, there's something that is broken, is causing some pain. And that's the only way is to fix the pain and keep moving on. That's what we need to do to ourselves as well. We need to fix our pains. But before we fix our pains, we need to know what are those and what caused that. Do you have any clue what caused? I believe that is not what, it's who. Can I point out? Ourselves. We cause our pain. And why do we need acceptance and self-acceptance? Because we need to make peace with that. Yeah, I create that. In time, I'm going to fix that. But I need to understand that at this point, with the knowledge that I have, this is what I have. From this point, ground zero, I'm going to move on. Otherwise, I'm going to go backwards. There is no way to go backwards. Remember that. Go backwards only to get impulse to jump forward. That's the only time you go backwards. If you need to, you have something to cross and you need more power, go a little reverse and run forward. Acceptance. To accept the other is to admit their existence, to open our doors, observe, and examine all characteristics without fear, without prejudice, without judgment. That is so hard. Why? Because we all judge people. We judge ourselves, we judge the others as well. So I think the word here is to admit that somebody can be the way he is. Instead of trying to say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Oh, he shouldn't say that. He shouldn't do that. She shouldn't do that. Accept. That's the way it is now. Are you going to change something about this? How many of you thought you could change somebody? Your partner, your spouse, your son, your daughter, your mama, whatever? Have you?
Unfortunately, no.
Exactly. And the unfortunately is the self-acceptance inside of us, because yes, we can. The only ones that we can change, it's ourselves. And how you change yourself? Accepting the way the other person is. That's why we say so be it here. What so be it means? If I cannot change the situation right now, am I going to keep on going this discussion up to a point that I don't want to see your face, you don't want to see my face because we exhaust all the arguments? No, so be it. I cannot change you right now. I'm not in a point to change myself right now. So be it. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow, we can come together again and we'll discuss that again. Because we're going to be different people. We learn every day, right? So we're not the same every day. We change, little by little, but we change. When we accept the others, seeing and seeking, let me get my eyes. Seeing and seeking to understand him, with true interest and respect, he feels confident to do the same, to observe himself better. When we believe, when we accept the other, seeking to understand with interest and respect, he feels confident to do the same. Interesting. But we normally want them to do that to us, and then we pay back. And what's it saying right there? It's the opposite. There is one of the best speakers in the United States. His name was because he's on the upper floor right now, Zig Ziglar. And he was talking about a day that he went to, I believe it was Japan, and he couldn't sleep because of the jet lag. And he went to the roof. There was a bar, and he found somebody there. And for an hour and a half, he didn't say a word. The guy talk and talk and talk and talk. By the end of the conversation, he went back to the elevator, and the guy said, "Hey, Zig, you're a very interesting person." He didn't say anything about himself. How come I'm interesting? Because the most interesting person is the most interested person. That's how it is. If you show true interest in people, they will come back to you because they need that. They need to be valued as people. And that's what it is. That's what's written there. So they can accept themselves better and come to believe and rely more on their own capacity by accepting people, by telling them that you understand them, you respect them. They start believing in themselves. Look at the power of the acceptance. Accepting is not the same as agreeing, and that's the point. Accepting is not the same as agreeing or approving one's attitude. It's just accepting. Right now, you are just like that, and accept that. I don't need to agree. I don't need to approve, but I need to accept. You know who Carl Rogers is? He's the guy that invented or that created the person-centered therapy, and is the role model for the suicidal hotline down in Brazil. I worked for them for 6 months. These are just a short vision of how they let us understand people. Because when you got somebody that is telling you on the other line that he's going to commit suicide, you need to understand. You need to accept. You need to understand that all you can do is to talk to them. All you can do is validate them. All you can do is try to make them feel that they are loved. That is up to you. Whatever is the outcome of this conversation is up to the person. And it's really hard for us to understand that. But it's just like, how can I help you? This is the most, the best form of acceptance that you can talk to somebody that is on this point. Because, believe me, he heard everything else before. Oh, if you do that, you're going to get better. If you pray, if you have religion, if you have this, if you have that. He heard everything. When he comes to a suicidal hotline, it's his last resource. It's the way of his telling us, I still want to live. I don't know why, but I still want to live. Please, give me a reason. You're not going to start giving him some formulas to get out of that. You're just going to ask, how can I help you? Because you put the power back to him or to her. Tell me, which is the way that I can touch you? Which is the way that I can prove to you that you're worthy? Which is the way that you want me to show that I love you? We can do that to others. We can do that to ourselves. Right? The Art of Acceptance. This is from the Spirit Hamed in the book Renewing Attitudes that I really, really like. We have that in, I don't know if you have here. We had that book in our library. But if you browse that, there is a PDF that you can download pretty easily. Accepting our reality as is the main beneficial act in our life. As is. Have you ever bought a fridge, a stove, as is? Put yourself as a fridge, as is. Buy it. Take back home. Take care of that. Deal with it. Accept yourself as is. Brings peace and mental lucidity, which allows us to satisfactorily perform our inner transformation. When you accept yourself, you bring peace to yourself, which makes a lot easier everything else. We can only change what we admit and see clearly in ourselves. If I try to convince you that you do have a problem, if I try to convince you that you do have a problem, and you tell me over and over that you don't have, who's the fool? You or me? You, me, right? You don't have a problem. You don't think you have a problem. You don't have a problem. The whole world can see a problem on you, but you don't see it. So be it. That is not a problem right there. Accept that situation. But up to the point that it's with others. It's talking, when you talk about yourself, go deep. Understand, accept, make peace of that. What is this planet that we live in? It's a happy place? It's a high, elevated energy place? Or it's median? It's getting in there. We don't know when. It's getting in there. But we still got tested. We still got to prove that we are trying to get better every day. So, what kind of spirits incarnate here? Missionaries, high spirits, elevated spirits, or G.I. Joes? We're all G.I. Joes, guys. We all have our flaws. Live with that. Understand that. Accept that. And that's why we came to this planet, to be tested. So again, I hate to be tested. I hate to get out of my comfort zone. Doesn't matter. And again, let me give you a little concept about the comfort zone. You never get out of the comfort zone. You expand your comfort zone. Because if you want to get out of your comfort zone, you go to your discomfort zone. Nobody like to be discomforted. Nobody. So don't go out. Just expand it to the point that you want to be. It's still your comfort zone. You still comfort with that. But we don't like to deal with something that we don't know. And that's the thing. And we don't know ourselves. And that's the problem. If we are afraid of things that we don't know, and we don't know ourselves, who are we afraid of? Ourselves. How can we deal with that? How can we change that? Self-acceptance, self-knowledge. When we do not accept the existential facts, we are led to react with attitudes of denial. This is not happening. It's not me, it's him. It's not me, it's her. It's not me. It's the position of the stars by the day that I was born. It's my karma. It's my haircut. It's my lack of luck. It's never me. It's never myself. Never rely, never fall back on me. We're not going to change anything with that. Trying to find somebody else to blame. This is the blame game. Doesn't worth it. Doesn't work, but it doesn't worth it. It's a waste of time. So what is the most efficacious method of ensuring one's own moral improvement in the present life and resistant to attraction of evil? What you think? One of the sages of antiquity has told you, know thyself. And this guy was Socrates. But as a matter of fact, they give this sentence to him, which is not his. This sentence was on the Delphos oracle. And he looked at it when he went to the oracle, and he started repeating this sentence. So it's from the ancient Greeks. We really don't know who started this. But what is the most efficacious method to ensure one's own moral improvement? Know thyself. When you know yourself, you know what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. You know your capacities. You know your problems, and you know your virtues. And you work with that to your best capacity. But it's not just know yourself. It's accept thyself. Because when you know yourself, you start blaming yourself of being by being this or that. That doesn't work as well. Accept that. Accept yourself. Reside the know thyself, let also work with accept thyself. Besides the know thyself, I tell you, my eyes are discarnating. There you go. I can see clearly now. Beside the know thyself, let us also work with accept thyself. We need to have the will to see, to understand, to know, and to be aware more and more of ourselves. When we accept ourselves, we eliminate the bonds of sick dependence that bind us to the others, whose customs, beliefs, and values are not ours. My friends, psychology says that we have two main needs in life: to be loved and to pertain, to be part of something. Remember when we were young, not so long ago, and we fought to be in that group where the leader was the no-brainer muscle guy, but everybody wants to be with his group, with his gang. Why? Because they are the ones to look for. And you want to be with them to feel like them. Important. Everybody, wow, there he goes. And in order to do that, how many stupid things you did? I can at least list one: smoke. I coughed my lungs out just to prove to my guys, to my friends of my group, that was cool as them because I could smoke. I never smoke, and I never could. And I didn't die, but I almost really spilled my lungs out. I cough and cough and cough, and it was like the worst experience ever. And I had a smile on my face. Like, really? Why? Now we know why. So when we accept that you don't belong to them, that you don't have the same feelings, that you have the same mindset, start eliminating the bonds with sick dependence of these people. Why do I need to follow them? Why do I need to be with them? Why do I need to pay attention to them? Oh, because they work with me. Yes, at work, you're working. They don't need to be your close friends. They don't need to be your role models. You don't need to imitate whatever they do just because you want to be as cool as them. But we did that so many times. And that's what self-acceptance is. Yes, I did that in the past. But right now, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to do something else. Bless the afflict. With the words, blessed are the afflicted, for they shall be consoled, Jesus indicates the compensation which awaits those who suffer, and the resignation which leads men to bless suffering as a prelude to cure. Who am I to change those words? This is on the gospel. But if I could touch at least one, I would change suffering to pain. Because I believe that pain is something that happens in life. Suffering is our choice. Suffering is the reaction that you have to pain. You can accept it or you can suffer. You can understand it or you can suffer. So I was just changed meant to bless pain as a prelude to the cure and not suffering. But so many times we choose to suffer. So many times we choose to say, why me? Why not him? Why not you? I don't know, right? Yeah, me neither. Hopefully not. Because if it happens to me, it's my test. It's not anybody else. So I have to take ownership of whatever happens to myself. Whatever happens to my life, it's on me. It's not on anybody else. They're happy because they're paying their debts, also because after payment they will be free. If you pass a test in school, are you going to have the same test again? And what is life? It's our biggest school, right? So you pass the test, it won't come back. We're going to be tested for other things. But for that particular one, you pass, done. You're free. We're playing with the word free, like, because I was talking, like, oh, okay, so give the lecture, the schedule for the day in the beginning, and tell people that after the passes, they're free. Like you guys are not free right now, but free, it's a kind of word that is, you know, you are free to do whatever you want. Put some, you know, rules or limits. It's yourself. It's your belief. It's who you think you are. Or if you don't think you are too much, it's somebody else that controls you because you let them control you. So that's the first thing. Don't let anybody control you. You are the one who came here to control yourself. And only yourself, not the others. So be it. One of the accusations made to Spiritism is to lead men to conformism by saying, so be it. Oh, you guys say so be it to everything. No, we don't. But I'm not going to get to a 10-hour fight with words if you're not going to change. I'll be spiritual intelligent to recognize that after the first half hour, you know the kind of people that always have a problem for every solution that you give? That's people that have solutions to every problem that you have. But that's people that have a problem for every solution that you present. And we have some people like that. Are you going to stay 10 hours discussing with this person? For real? Who's the hard-headed? Him? I don't think so. It's us. So let's save our energy to something more efficient, to something more good intention than just discuss with somebody that don't want to accept what you're talking about, your arguments. Many confuse Spiritism as a resignation with religious conformism. Spiritist resignation stems not from a mystical religion subjection to uncontrollable forces, but from understanding life and its challenges. Right now, I cannot change my situation. I would love to go every day. I would love to travel to Brazil, but I don't have I don't have the money, or I don't have the legal, situation, or I don't have whatever. Am I going to suffer every day because of that? Yes, I can. Believe me, I know people that does that all pretty good. They're masters on it. But what is the outcome? What does that change? You just start a day miserable and you go to bed the same way. Why? Because you choose to pay attention to something that is not worthy or is not going to change so fast. Accept that. Deal with that. Keep on going. When the Spiritist is resigned, he accepts reality as that he will have to subdue precisely to overcome it. That's the way things are now. Not yesterday and not tomorrow. Things are now just like that. And I accept that. I'm working to change. But it didn't change today. It didn't change now. And we can only live the present. We only can live now. There is no way for us to stay here sitting, thinking about what we're going to do next, and do it. It's going to be next. And we don't know if some situation will change because we're not there yet. And what happens in the past, we're not going to change. It happens already. We can be sorry for, we can ask for reconciliation with somebody that we hurt, but it happens. The only thing that we can do is live the now. And now we need to understand the way things are, and we have to accept it. He understands that life is a developing process within which man has to balance himself. Development process, meaning that we didn't learn. Once my grandfather talked to my father, and they were having a discussion, and he looked at me and said, "Hey, Fred, so you know everything, right?" And he looked at my grandfather and said, "Yes, I do." Yeah, unfortunately he did. And unfortunately he left us when he was 45. That means that he abbreviates his life big time, just because he did not understand the power of feelings versus the health of the body, the health of the mind. Let not us to do that. Let us understand that we have the power to control a lot of things inside ourselves, and that will reflect in our body as well. Mens sana in corpore sano. So this comes from the book, The New Man, from José Herculano Spiritist. I have a little video for you guys. We have audio there. I'm going to open this one. There you go. We have audio? Not yet? Oh, it went back to mute. Don't know why. There you go. Let's see if it works.
Legend has it.
Yep. Back. And back. And not him. Come on.
You are about to hear a strange but true story. Legend has it, Harry Houdini, the master magician, once claimed that he could break out of any jail cell in the world. All he had to do was walk into that jail cell with his street clothes on. "I'll be out of there in 1 hour, no problem," he said. Well, a very old jail down south heard about Houdini's claims, and they accepted his challenge. On the day of the event, many people gathered outside. Very confidently, Houdini walked right into the jail and into the cell, and they shut the metal doors behind him. The first thing Houdini did was he took off his coat. Then, very strangely, he took off his belt. Secretly hidden in Houdini's belt was a 10-inch piece of steel, very tough and very flexible, and Houdini started working. In about 30 minutes, that confident expression Houdini had when he walked in disappeared. In 1 hour, he was bathed in sweat. And at the end of 2 hours, Houdini, in defeat, collapsed against the door, which then opened. It opened because, you see, that door had never been locked. But that's not entirely true, is it? That door was locked. It was firmly and thoroughly locked in Houdini's mind, which meant it was locked as if the best locksmith in the world had put his lock on it. The mind is powerful. How many doors in your life do you think are locked but aren't? How many times have you been stuck in the mental prison of overthinking something that really had a simple solution? There is an ancient African proverb that says, when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Your mind is the most powerful force you will ever face. It will tell you lies. It will tell you you can't do that. You're not meant for that. You're not good enough for that. You can't go on anymore. You don't have the energy. You must thank it for its opinion and carry on. Because like Houdini showed us, the only locked doors that exist are in your own mind. The doors in reality are open. And all you have to do is walk through.
How long are we gonna still be our own Houdinis? How long are we gonna be magicians trying to get out of jail that we create with some tricks and not understanding that the cell is open? The bars are imaginary. We create those bars. We create it, and we understand, and we think, and we really tell our brain, our mind, that there is no way. That is always a way. That is always a way. We always can try, and we always can change. All we have to have is the mind of a child, like this guy here. Oh, come on. Look at that. Does he believe that he cannot do it? No. In his simplicity, he just looked up and said, well, that is just one more step. And then another one. And then another one. And then another one. Moms and dads, would you be terrified to see your baby boy climb a wall? You probably, yeah. But what is the lesson right there? You can do it. Believe in yourself. Find your strength. Go for it. And of course, the floor is not hard. If he falls, he's going to learn something. It's not going to be pretty, but he's going to learn something as well. And of course, like everybody else, we just have our doubts. Am I going to do it? Am I going to back up? I'm going to keep on going and climbing? All he wants to do is to get in the top of the wall. That's simple. He's not putting any barriers to that. He's not overthinking as we do with our troubles. He's just going for it. How hard is that? Ask this kid. He's looking and saying, hey, I'm here. I'm the top of the world. At this point, don't you all want to see this kid on the top? Don't you all transfer your hopes to this baby? There he is. And he's getting easier and easier because he finds his resources and he believes in himself. He never looked back. Did you see him looking down to see the size of the fall? He looks up. That's his prize. I was not to show this one, but I couldn't resist. Because the other one has a powerful message, but this one speaks to the heart. It doesn't matter how hard it is, I'm there. I'm not gonna give up right now. Can you relate your life to that, Climb? So many situations, so many times that we've been to this wall looking for clues, looking for tools, thinking about, well, maybe I got up here and that's enough. Is that enough? If your goal is to go all the way up, is that enough? I don't know you guys, but right now I'm saying, go baby, go. And I watched this video 10 times so far. It's not working? Use another route. Use another tool. But just go. Believe in your strength, in your legs. And voila. You got it. Everybody right now wants to clap. Me as well. Fantastic, guys. That's what we need to do. When we accept ourselves, that's what we need to do. We need to believe like a baby that we can do it. Don't overthink like Houdini. Don't overthink our problems. Don't start munching on it. Why? What is the outcome of staying there? You know, rolling over and over. Now keep on going. Find the right tool. Find the right way. Spiritism gives so many tools to find the right way. What are we waiting for? To wake up this baby, this little baby that lies inside of us. Thank you.